ready for me because they're all due like in a week or two, and I have not started none of them.
So how would you rate your stress level right now with school and work? On a scale from 1 to 10.
I'll say 10.
10?
I'll say 10. Definitely a 10. I like my papers to be perfect, which I think plays a role in the amount of time that I put into it. So when I feel like I'm not ready to give it my 100%, I don't start it, and I feel like that kind of creates like anxiety while I'm working on it, because I'm like, all right, I know I need to do this paper, and I postpone it until like the last minute, and then I realize that I don't have the enough time to do it because of, the deadline is literally right around the corner, and these papers are like 10 pages plus.
So you're procrastinating on doing your papers.
Right.
And you keep putting it off for the last minute to then your stress level to go on 10.
Yeah. So
go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. And I tell myself like every semester, things are going to be different. But I find myself doing the same thing over and over. And that's what kind of bothers me, because, it's like at this point I should know, like, all right, you need to give yourself time to do this, this, and this. But with everything else going on,
you put that off.
I put that off. And that's why my stress level is a 10.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
If your stress level is at school is at a 10 and at work is at a 10, what level of stress would you represent? What level of stress would it represent? What number for you to improve it?
Meaning?
Well, how would you represent? What number would you represent, like a level of improvement, like for you to?
So I won't be stressed?
Yes.
I'll say 6 or 7.
Okay.
Like if I'm at a 6 or 7, I'm like, okay, I'm like in between. I could start working like on one paper, and just focus on that, and at least I know that I have something written down. That way I won't feel so like guilty, or no, at least I started, and that will bring my anxiety and my stress level down to a 6 or 7. And at work, I would just remind myself that this is something new, and it's gonna take some time for me to learn the role, learn how to work with my coworkers. It's more of like mentally, I feel like, in a way. So I think that's what's just more breathing techniques, I guess, on my end to help me reduce my stress level.
So you said that you like to be part of a team. You're a team player, and that you don't want to let people down.
Right. So most of my jobs, like when I first started working, were mostly one-on-one. So I never really had anyone to like work with, or like, learn from, or I guess compete in a way. And when I started working at the fast food place, that was my first, like, I guess, like, working with like a team, right? So I realized that I was needed. And I guess that's my mentality for everything, that everyone needs me. So I feel like I need to do the best I can so other people's work and other people's life is easy. And I guess that kind of creates more anxiety on my end, because then I'm always questioning whether or not I did enough. So with this new position, I am I don't know. I don't know what's expected of me. I guess they have an idea of what what they need me to do, but for me, it's more of like, okay, I know what I need to do, but I don't know what to do. So I don't know how to approach it just yet. I don't know how to, I guess,
What's to come?
right.
So on one hand, you feel that you don't want to let people down at work. On the other hand, you also are a perfectionist, and and you you get stressed over not having things done perfectly.
Yes, which is for everything, and I've been working um, on it, not just like at work, but also at home, which I'm stressed about as well, with my boyfriend, and my son, my parents. Um, I felt that I've always, like, their behavior and like their emotions depended on how I acted. Um, I recently had like an altercation with my boyfriend, which I don't really want to talk about, but it made me realize that, like, people's behaviors are not because of me. And that was kind of like an eye opening. So I I am working on just like doing what I need to do, and then just have people do what they need to do, instead of having, me do something that I most likely won't feel comfortable with, just so the other person won't be unhappy. And I felt like that has been my problem, my most of my life.
So you feel that you want everything, you do a lot for people, and you, I guess, expect something out of it, but then you realize that sometimes it's not what you expect, and you're learning to accept those flaws that people have.
Right. Yes. That's exactly what it is. I am learning to accept people for
Their
who they
faults.
are. And like, growing up and like in my relationship, I've always been kind of not afraid, but like holding back on doing what I need to do in order for people not to feel some type of way. or like, not say something because it's gonna affect another person's like mood. But now I've learned to express myself in a way where it may come out like selfish, but you know, it's it's about what's gonna help me progress in life.
But I also hear that you also like to help others, which is not a bad thing. But I also, I guess you do it so much and you want it to be perfect that it stresses you out, that then the things that you need to do for yourself, you don't have the time to do for yourself. So that's something that you have to think about and see how you can manage both. You can't always help everybody.
Oh,
and I and we all do. We all want to. But I think that you're gonna have to find ways to try to think about yourself more right now, because you have a lot going on. You're trying to do a lot of things right now, which is not bad. It's great. But it's a lot, you know. You're managing three things: life, work, and school, right?
yes.
Yeah. So, that takes a lot, and you got to think about where is the time for yourself to think about the things that you want and what makes you happy, and for you not to stress yourself out a lot, so you can try to manage everything that you're doing in your life.
I've given it thought. Um, like I mentioned earlier, like I say, I'm always contradicting myself. I feel like, because halfway through this semester, I told myself that I was gonna drop back on classes so I could have more time, for my family, and also like do more things that, like outside of school and outside of work. But then I don't know. I feel like I'm always like pressured to. I always pressure myself to get to the finish line as fast as I can. So I already registered for all these classes, and I feel like that's what I always do. I always add so much to my plate because I know that I could do it. But while I'm in it, is
Overwhelming.
is yeah. So before it happens, I like have this like strong like mentality, like I could take on the world. But then when I'm like in it, I am just like, okay, calm
What did I
down.
do? Yeah, I get it. And that's something that we can work on. You, I know that you mentioned before that you like to write things down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe that's what you, maybe that would, yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Maybe that's what we should do, as a goal. Um, write things down, plan it out, and try to make a box where this is Mabel's time. Try to take a break. I mean, I don't know if you can change your classes, or, try to take that time in everything that you're doing to give yourself that mental break, so you don't get so stressed out over all the things that you have to do.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of gonna be like a process because I'm so used to being on the go. I'm so used to doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this, that I kind of forgot how to, incorporate my activities into my schedule. So it's kind of like learning how to ride a bike again. So I'm just like I'm already on the bike and I wanna go. Like I wanna go, but I'm just scared because I haven't done it in such a long time. But I'm on the bike. I'm on the bike, which is good. I feel like that is good.
Okay. So we talked about a lot today.
We did.
Um, so let me summarize. We talked about your stresses at work, how you have a new position, you're trying to get adjusted to the changes and the new staff and the new work that you're gonna get. We also talked about your time in school. Um, your semester's almost over. You have a lot of work to do. And a little bit about your personal life, about the argument with your boyfriend, and spending time with your family. Can you tell me a little bit more about you and your boyfriend? Was it like like a big argument or just something small?
So my boyfriend has a personality disorder. So with him, I really have to watch what I say or do because for him, he only sees the world black and white. And he, I was doing laundry. And I messed up one of his shirts.
Okay.
So he got really upset about that, and he erased all my work from my flash drive, from like all the papers that I was working on at school.
Okay.
And I had to rewrite all my work, all my papers, all my assignments that I already was doing.
How did you feel in that moment when he erased those files?
I was heartbroken. Like he sees how much my time and effort I put into my work. And for him to do that, it's just like he doesn't care about the goals that I have for myself and for us as a family. Um, and him knowing that my schedule is very tight, for him to do that was like very inconsiderate. And that it's kind of puts me in a hard position because now I have to email all my professors and let them know that I had to rewrite all my papers and not really give them much information on it.
What was the end result to the argument?
And I guess this is where it comes where I always want to make the situation better by doing things that not make me feel uncomfortable, but making the other person feel like it's okay. Like it wasn't like a big deal in a way, but it kind of is. now that I think about it, I have to let him know, like that is unacceptable.
Regardless of his mental illness, how do you handle certain situations when you guys are together and arguments and stuff like that?
Now, like before, like I mentioned, I always had to watch what I say or do because I don't want to trigger him, right? So on my end, I had to do like a lot of reading on his like disorder and how to approach it. And I did that, and it was kind of helpful because I've learned, you know, setting boundaries with him was very important. Um, for example, he's not allowed to touch my stuff, regardless of, you know, the mental state that he's in, regardless if he's angry, regardless if he's you know, upset. He needs to respect my belongings the same way I respect his belongings. So just setting boundaries with him, and um, I guess communicating with him more in a way. So I've learned to do that.
So you said that in certain situations you guys set boundaries on things, and he actually broke one of those rules. He went and erased your things. Um, on a scale from 1 to 10, how was that for you? Him, you know, breaking those boundaries.
I would say like a 8 or 9. I was very, I was very upset. I was very upset. You know, like I didn't know what to do at the moment. I was just more concerned of having to write these papers again rather than be upset at him. So I kind of just like pushed it aside instead of, you know, speak with him about like how that made me feel, and, you know, the conversations that we had prior to this situation happening, because this is not the first time where he felt that he needs to take his anger on my things.
Okay. And so was that resolved?
At the moment, yes.
Did you say anything to him how you felt when he did that?
So I gave it like about a week, and I just, you know, I just told him that I was very disappointed, like in what he did, and, you know, just express myself in a way that he will understand it. Like, just because he thinks that I did something, which he thinks I did it on purpose. He thinks that I ruined his shirt on purpose. Which I don't know why would he think that, but he think I messed up his shirt on purpose for whatever reason that he thinks I did, and like he went on and did that. Like that's not something that, you know, like I told him before, like I explained to him, I said, you've done things where it's an accident, right? You don't see me react in a way where, you know, I go and destroy your things or do something that's gonna get back at you, right? It's an accident. I said I apologize, and I hope that from this situation you learn, like, how to approach me differently.
So, how, seeing it in his eyes, his point of view, how would you feel if he was to ruin your shirt?
I will be upset. I will be. I guess I will be upset more. You know, something is a shirt that he got as a gift from his brother. So I could see, I could see where he, I could see the where the emotions come in. You know, I'll be upset too. But to the point where me going and destroying other people's property, I don't know about that. But like I said, like I explained to him, you know, if I was to do this on a normal basis, like every time I got upset at you or whatever the case may be, I go and do something, then I'm like, oh yeah, now she's doing it on purpose, right? I didn't even realize the damn shirt was in the freaking washing machine. So
it happens, but
in his eyes, it was the most cruelest thing I've ever done. How can I ever do that to him? How can I ever? How can he ever buy a shirt or receive the gift without him thinking that it's gonna get ruined in the washing machine?
unrealistic, but
That's the way he
that's
sees
the way
it,
he sees
and
it.
yeah, I can't change the way he sees things. The most I could do was try to tell him in a way where he sees where I was coming from.
I just had something in my mind.
It's okay. Um, I think the session was pretty good. I was able to, yeah, it was good. I kind of have more of a clear mind of my future in a way. I feel less stress.
In the future, because we can't avoid certain situations, try to back up your files.
I don't know what that means.
Back up your files for
files, yes.
Your
files. My files, yes.
Yes.
I yeah.
Just in case. But yes, we did talk a lot today. I do want to set up a couple of goals for you. I think that you're saying that the breathing techniques work. I think you should continue to do your breathing techniques. I think that you should try to write out a plan where you set maybe certain dates on when to do your work and try to time it wisely.
That's a good idea.
And it's a new job, so you're not gonna know what's expected. Just try to try to go with the flow, try to do your best, and learn from it.
I think I'll work on that. I've started writing things down. I'm gonna continue to do that. I feel like that's been helping me a bit.
Okay, so I will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Jennifer. I really appreciate this session.
Thank you.